Hey there, fellow adult collectors, welcome back. David Eon here with another vintage video showcase by request, and this time what we are taking a look at is Gregory, the big bad vampire bat, made by Mattel. And I believe that Mattel made this in 3 separate years. If I'm not mistaken, the first year is 1979, like it says there. And the last time they made Gregory available was in 1981. And I actually happen to have the Mattel 1981 catalog, which I've done a catalog tour of this particular catalog, and there's Gregory. Gregory, item number 1324. The big bad vampire bat creature, pictured alongside of Crusher, which is another awesome toy, and then down here Rodan, which is a very difficult piece to get intact. But we're taking a look at Gregory. I have Gregory in the box, and this is not an easy piece to find. It really isn't. Even loose, this is not easy to find. A lot of the vinyl pieces and monster items and Mattel Shogun stuff, like you see back here, are pretty tough to come by nowadays. Well, you see these a lot, actually. You do see the Mattel Shoguns a lot, but there are variants, and they're usually with their stickers peeled off and missing pieces and so on and so forth. But today we are focusing on Gregory. Gregory, the big bad vampire bat. He's the bat you love to hate. Press his back, see blood flow in chest. Shake him, and his wings flap. And if I'm being honest, Gregory is kind of a cheap toy. It's not the best, but it's still a blast. I love this toy, and I'm glad I have it. And on the edge of the box here, you see a demonstration of what Gregory, the big bad vampire bat, can do. See, shake him and his wings flap. Press his back, see blood flow in his chest. And hang him upside down. And we're going to be talking about that whole hanging thing here too. Back of the box, basically just a sketch of Gregory, a rudimentary sketch for the purpose of demonstration. And you can see here it says even his teeth bend easily, because essentially he's just a big rubber bat. There's not much to Gregory. See, for best results, hold him up. Blood made of soft, flexible material. It's liquid, I would think so. Stomach tightly sealed to prevent leaks. Press back here and make the blood flow. As you know, Mattel was great for using that, the whole make the blood flow thing. They did it originally with Pulsar Man, who, I have Pulsar Man up there. You see Pulsar Man? So Pulsar Man had the flowing blood chest, and they did it again with Mosquitor from the Masters of the Universe series. And there you see Sucker Man, who I previously did a showcase on. One of my favorites also. I love Sucker Man. And, you know, I pick on Gregory a little bit, but I still love this thing. More artwork. And I will be opening this. This is not a sealed box, so I'm going to take Gregory out and show him to you. Same as what was on the other side, only this is colored in. And you notice it's all sketches. This is not a photograph, and I appreciate that a lot because I'm a big fan of vintage card art and box art. To me, it means a lot to see the detail and all that some artist went through to try to make this impressive, to make it some nice eye candy for the consumer, so the kid would look at this box and say, wow, that looks freaking awesome, I want that. Grigori doesn't actually look like this, by the way, which you will find out in a moment here. But to go through all that trouble, there's Grigori. It says wingspan 15 inches. Not exactly. It's more like 14 and a half. I guess if you stretch it, it's 15, and he can stretch. There's another drawing of Grigori. And take a look at the contents, and then we'll open this up. And it says contents, because I didn't read that before, but it's kind of important, because it says contents: 1 Grigori, big bad vampire bat with blood pump system in his back. And it says in brackets, use your own string and hang him upside down. So Mattel couldn't even bother to give you the string. They couldn't. Talk about cutting corners, Mattel. You can't even give us a string for free to go with our Grigori so we can hang him. No, we can't do that. But we're going to open this up now and take a close look at Grigori. So let's cut away to that. And here we are back with Grigori out of the box. And you might notice right away, I'm going to close up on that image, he barely resembles the artwork. The artwork looks much better than Grigori does in real life. But that's okay. As I said, I love him anyway. This thing is fantastic. Basically, he's a big hunk of rubber, because this is all soft rubber, very soft. It says Mattel 1979 USA. USA. You don't see that too often. It's got a hard piece here. That's where the blood would be. It's dried out. You're probably never going to see a Grigori with blood still in it unless someone restored this part. There's the button on the back. This is what you would press right here, and you can see it does go in and out, and that would cause the blood to pump in there, but as I stated, it no longer works. And you see that with Pulsar Man also. You're hard pressed to find a Pulsar Man with a blood function that is still operational unless someone did a repair job on it. And you're starting to see a lot of that with Mosquitor too. There's very few Mosquitors that are functional. Mouth kind of works there. He is, again, just a big chunk of rubber. And how Grigori works is basically you do that. That's what they're talking about when they say shake him and his wings flap. So you shake him up and down and he flies. And that's about all Grigori does, aside from the pumping blood action. When you find these loose, I'm fortunate, very fortunate that I've got one in the box, believe me, because these are not easy to come by, and a lot of times these are in pretty rough shape. You know, it's rubber, little kids chewed on them, or these are split right here, or this piece is broken off or torn off or whatever, splits in the wings. So he's in really decent shape considering. And what you would use the string for, since we're down here, is you would run the string between these feet, and then he could just hang upside down like this. And that's why I was ribbing Mattel, saying, for God's sakes, you can't even you can't even spare us some string to hang Grigori with. No, Mattel cut corners on the string. They didn't give it to you. So if you've never seen a Grigori up close and personal, this is essentially what he is. And I can go ahead and measure that for you to show you. I have a measuring tape here. Because it did say 15 inches, but if you take this across, and I don't know if you can see where that stopped, and I'll right there, about 14 and a half. Not 15. I got cheated out of 1/2 of an inch. Then again, like I said, if you stretched it and you might could get 15 out of it. So he's not huge. It's not a huge toy. It's about 8 1/4 tall, and the depth is about 2.5 inches. So you get out of frame there. About 2.5 inches of depth. And that, folks, is Grey Gory. That's what he looks like. And I wish I could display him. The only way I could really display him is to have him hanging. Because otherwise, I mean, he's just going to lay there. I'd love to be able to line him up with some of the other monsters and robots and things that I've got here. Because he was advertised in this section originally. If you opened up a Mattel Toy Fair catalog, you got the Shogun stuff, then Godzilla, then Crusher, Grey Gory, and Suckerman. So they lumped him in with that stuff. So he does kind of fit from that perspective. And I just want him to fit anyways, so why not, right? Anyways, do you remember this toy? I wonder how many people had this when they were young. Did you have this toy when you were a kid? Do you remember this? Do you remember seeing it? Is this a toy that you would be interested in when you were a kid, or would you be looking for this now? Is this something that you would like to go out and find as an adult and say, hey, you know what, I had this, I want it again, or I never had this, but I want it? I never had a Grey Gory, but I just couldn't pass it up when the opportunity came up. Somebody contacted me and said, hey, I got a Grey Gory in the box, and you know, and he had a decent price on it, and I was like, I can't pass it up. I can't, because I'm a nut. Anyways, please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. Please give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. I hope that you did. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you're new. All of that good stuff. Check out some of the other videos. If you're new to the channel, we do a lot of other vintage showcases like this one. And we do unboxings of modern stuff and catalog tours. Like I had pointed out, we've actually reviewed this catalog in the past. Adult toy and industry discussions, and we do a lot here. Tours of conventions and a little something for everybody in the world of adult nostalgia. So check it out. And I guess if there's nothing else, then all I can say is thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.